Hello everyone. I am a human rights lawyer, filmmaker, and storyteller. Today, I invite you to join me on a journey beyond the familiar images and popular narratives of Sweden. We are going to explore several important books written by Swedish researchers and scholars who examine structural discrimination in Sweden and ask difficult but necessary questions about history, identity, race, and society. What makes this book significant is not simply its size or its scholarly recognition. Its importance lies in the questions it asks. Sweden is often portrayed as a nation largely untouched by colonial history, a society viewed as racially homogeneous and strongly connected to international ideals of equality and solidarity. But the contributors to decolonial Sweden challenge many of these assumptions. They examine Sweden's historical connections to European colonialism, racialized nationalism, and social structures whose effects continue into the present day. The book explores how global histories of inequality and colonialism remain unfinished and continue shaping modern societies. Several chapters address important topics, including the resistance of the Sami people against Swedish colonial practices. Other chapters raise difficult questions surrounding Sweden's role in the transatlantic slave trade and its colonial relationship with the Caribbean island of St. Bartholomew. These discussions invite viewers and readers to reconsider histories that often receive little public attention. Even in a country where concepts of race have become politically and legally complex, the authors argue that discussions surrounding racialization and discrimination remain essential. The book also expands academic discussion in fields such as cultural race studies, indigenous studies, African studies, human rights studies, international studies, global studies. One of its unique strengths is that Swedish scholars have written it in English. Language barriers often prevent important Swedish scholarship from reaching international audiences. This book opens doors. Earlier works and foundations over the years, several important publications have examined similar themes. Although many were written by individual researchers rather than large teams, they deserve recognition. Afrikansvenska raster. One of these works is Afrikansvenska raster, published in 2009 and edited by Claude Stevens, who holds a Ph.D. in philosophy. Written in both Swedish and English, the collection brings together reflections from 15 contributors, including journalists, teachers, artists, activists, and researchers of African heritage. Many contributors were born in Sweden and identify as Afro-Swedes. Dr. Stevens' book creates space for voices often absent from public discussions. Another important publication addresses the issue of Afrophobia. Published in 2014, this report offers a broad overview of the situation of Afro-Swedes in contemporary Swedish society. The study examines housing, healthcare, employment, and education. Its findings raise serious concerns. The report suggests that Afro-Swedes experience higher rates of unemployment and lower economic returns on educational achievement. This book represents one of the first major scholarly works in English devoted specifically to African and Black experiences in Sweden. Using oral history, ethnography, archival research, and textual analysis, Skinner places community voices at the center of his work. He examines experiences, identities, knowledge, and everyday life within Afro-Swedish communities found across Sweden. Even highly educated individuals may encounter structural barriers affecting opportunity and social mobility. Another book worth mentioning is A Swedish Dilemma, a liberal European nation's struggle with racism and xenophobia by Professor Dennis Van Norden. Focusing on developments between 1990 and 2000, the book examines social reactions to increasing diversity within Swedish society. This book further investigates the deeper historical roots of xenophobia and how societies negotiate change. Government reports on structural discrimination. Besides books, the Swedish government has also produced extensive government investigations. One particularly important report is C 2005-56, often referred to as the Blue and Yellow Glass House. This nearly 700-page investigation was prepared by Paul Lapalainen and Marcus Lundgren with contributions from more than 50 university researchers. For many years, this report was the most comprehensive examinations of structural discrimination ever conducted in Sweden. It examined structures in labor markets, housing, education, healthcare, media, legal institutions, welfare systems, political structures. Its purpose was not only to describe problems. It also proposed recommendations and future measures for the Swedish government to seriously consider. The study attempted to identify knowledge gaps and suggest policies capable of addressing structural inequality. Until the publication of Decolonial Sweden, no other report matched its scope and ambition. Final reflections. Sweden, like many European countries, continues to grapple with difficult questions concerning discrimination, inclusion, and social cohesion. No society is static. Over the past 2 decades, governments, researchers, civil society organizations, and European institutions have developed policies and initiatives intended to address structural inequality. The books discussed in this report remind us of the fact that research matters, scholarship matters, and conversations matter. They help societies better understand themselves. Their purpose is not to condemn, not to romanticize, but to learn and help to improve. In closing, I say thank you for joining us. If you would like future discussions on Sweden, human rights, race studies, and new scholarship, please subscribe, like, and follow our channel. Our volunteers bring decades of experience in Swedish media, academia, politics, and publishing, and we look forward to sharing more with you. In our next report, we will continue this series with a closer examination of how and why Sweden failed with its policies on integration. Until then, thank you for watching. Goodbye.